What if Catalonia becomes independent? What if in a few years we have Catalonia as a country in the Olympics or in the UN, or as its own football team in the World Cup? Okay, let's explore this a little. First of all, why do Catalonia want to become independent? What would they get out of it? Catalonia has its own culture, and the Catalans believes that if they become independent, that gives them the freedom to exploit this culture as much as they like and progress as a nation. They have their own language that makes them feel like they have their own identity apart from Spain. This would put a stop to the debate's double identities. They would be Catalans, and that is that. Some people in Catalonia claim that they don't feel Spanish, they feel Catalan. This also has to do with historical reasons. Catalonia has wanted independence for a very long time, since like forever. Another reason why Catalonia would benefit from this separation is the fact that Catalonia right now generates a lot of income that goes to the Spanish state, and they don't receive as much as they would like because that money goes to other areas that maybe need it more because they don't generate as much as they need. So, if Catalonia becomes independent, that would mean they could manage what they produce and what they distribute to their own people. Catalonia wants independence because they are a strategic point in the Mediterranean commerce, and they want to take advantage of that as much as they can. They would be an independent country that is connected to a lot of European countries through the Mediterranean coast. Also, a most recent reason why Catalonia wants independence is that nowadays it seems that when there is bad news in Spain, like a political party gone corrupt that has been discovered, there are lots, or there's an economic recession or something like that, there is usually some news about the Catalans wanting independence. They claim that Catalonia is being used as a distraction to avoid the Spanish people to pay attention to more serious things. Okay, more or less, we have explored what Catalonia gained with independence, but if they separate, what would they lose? Okay, first of all, they would not be in the European Union because that is down to a vote and it takes a lot of time to make it in the UE as a new country. If they are not in the European Union, this means that they wouldn't have the euro. There would be no more financial help from Europe going to Catalonia, or they couldn't ask for financial rescue if they needed one. Another thing that they would lose would be the easy mobility that the European citizens have within other countries of the UE. The Catalans would not vote in the local elections if they live in France, for example. The Catalan students would lose the possibility of Erasmus and all sorts of grants and programs that the UE offers. The UE would not give the medium and small enterprises financial help like it does in other countries, and that would mean some of these would have to close at the minute, and 90% of the Catalan enterprises are medium or small. This means that if a lot of them close, it would deteriorate the Catalan market in a negative way, not to mention that they would not be part of the European market that is formed by 28 countries. Right now, Catalonia exports to this market 62% of its total, which is roughly 58,000 billion euros. If Catalonia becomes independent, they will also have to create a diplomatic web, meaning that they will have to create embassies in other countries when right now Spain is present in more or less 120 countries. After looking at this, let's look at how the independence of Catalonia would affect our daily lives. If Catalonia does become independent, Spain might stop consuming their products or at least reduce the quantity of them. Also, maybe the prices of these products would rise alarmingly. I'm talking about products like colacao, cuétara, la piara, nocilla, fosquitos, soup gallina blanca, beer San Miguel, clothes from Mango, or books from Ediciones B or Planeta. Also, all these companies would no longer generate income for the Spanish state, so there would be less money to spend on education or healthcare, less than is now, which is very little. Also, think of all the jobs that people would lose if branches of these companies close in Spain. Furthermore, Spain would be a country with a population below the 40 million. But if Catalonia is left out, Spain in turn will be a more centralized country, more homogeneous, and maybe it would be easier to create the sense of identity that the Catalans apparently already have. Of course, there is benefit in this for Zaragoza, that would become the economical axis connecting Spain and France, and also for Valencia, that would connect the Mediterranean. Spain would lose tourists, given that many of the tourists visit the Catalan coast, but this is also an opportunity for other regions in Spain that can be exploited in the tourism scene, like Segovia or Salamanca. Also, we should talk about football. What would Real Madrid do with his nemesis? How would the football fans feel if they lost their clásicos? The nation would be furious. As we can see, both parties lose important things if Catalonia separates. Do you think that Catalonia gets more out of its independence than what it loses?